Today we're talking about the Bennington Triangle, a mysterious area of rural Vermont, which has become famous for strange events including UFO sightings, Bigfoot sightings, strange lights and sounds, and a lot more.
Sounds like I'm going to get Bigfoot pilled again in this video. All right.
I'm shoving that Bigfoot down your throat. So for more than 2 centuries, there have been numerous sightings of a Bigfoot-like creature in the Glastonbury mountain area that became known as the Bennington Triangle. And the Bigfoot creature was known as the Bennington monster. One of the first reported sightings occurred in the early 1800s when a stagecoach full of passengers was forced to stop on a washed-out road. The stage driver first noticed very large footprints in the mud. Bigfoot footprints.
Okay.
Then the coach was attacked by a large creature who knocked the vehicle on its side, and the frightened passengers could only see a pair of eyes before the monster roared and ran into the forest.
How big is this big footprint, though, is what I want to know.
I don't know.
Because I don't know if this cab driver, I get that it's probably a little while back, but I mean, how fucking big is Shaq's foot? Like, fucking massive, right? If I just saw that just a la carte, I wouldn't think it's a human foot either. A la carte? Like, seriously.
So you think
fucking like that fucking big? I don't know.
So you think there's like a Shaq-sized man running around, a wild man?
There used to be the freak shows of the people who had like the skin conditions or the hair conditions where they're just coated in fur, like the other Wolverine. Who's to say you can't just have some big ass feet?
Very true.
Right?
That would be crazy.
So, I don't know. Maybe this guy's just kind of full of shit. He's trying to get money.
Yep.
So,
later sightings describe the creature as a large, hairy, black thing standing over 6 feet tall. And can I just say, over 6 feet tall is not impressive. We are both over 6 feet tall.
That is true. That is very unimpressive.
Doesn't matter, though. It gets fucking insane.
Okay, right now I'm a little underwhelmed with this Bigfoot pill, but hit me.
Don't worry. The Bigfoot's not the story.
Oh, okay.
There have long been stories of people going missing in the area, including a man named Carl Herrick in 1943. Carl was hunting with his cousin Henry northeast of Glastonbury Mountain, which lies at the center of the triangle. The pair got separated and Henry contacted authorities to look for him. After a few days, searchers combed the whole area, hundreds and hundreds of searchers looking for him, and they actually found his body. We're going to be talking about a lot of people who bodies were never found for. This guy's body was actually found. And you want to talk about a Bigfoot pill?
Yes.
Okay.
Hold on. First, though, quick question. What was the condition of the body?
That's what I'm getting to.
Oh,
That's the Bigfoot pill.
Okay. Ooh.
His gun was nearby with no bullets discharged. However...
Sounds like a bad hunter.
The autopsy determined that the cause of death was squeezing.
Was autoerotic.
No. His ribs had snapped inwards and punctured his lungs. Not from a fall, whereas from one side, from all of his sides. He had been squeezed to death.
That just sounds like one sweet-ass hug.
Yeah! From a Bigfoot!
I don't know, man. Okay, what about, though? Lenny.
Huh?
Lenny. From Mice and Men.
From Mice and Men?
Yeah, I'm sure that's happened. Just somebody, a lot of strength, just real big hug, real tight, accidentally snaps all the ribs.
So in your headcanon, this has to be multiple at this time, because this is like 100 years later, but there's like a group of very large creatures in the forest, men.
Okay.
Who are hairy.
Yes.
But who are actually really nice, but they're kind of idiots, like Lenny.
Yes, who also have massive feet.
Who have massive feet.
And I assume are fairly hairy. And
they found this hunter, and they loved him and wanted to care for him like the rabbits, so they squeezed him to death.
Checks out.
Okay. I mean, shit, it's a better guess than anyone else, so... The Bennington Triangle is said to be cursed according to the Native American folklore. The natives of the area had long been wary of the triangle. An Algonquin legend tells of an evil stone in the mountains that would open up and swallow people. And that's how they go missing. So the natives knew that people went missing in this mountain range, and their understanding of it was that there was an evil stone who lived in the mountain that would open up and swallow you.
I'm confused. The stone itself just splits open, and it's just like, whoop.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It's a sentient stone, perhaps.
That's more logical to me than Bigfoot.
You're breaking my heart here.
Oh, shit.
Perhaps this stone is what exactly happened to the 5 people we're talking about today, who mysteriously disappeared in this area between 1945 and 1950.
Okay.
All 5 of these people are in a 5-year span.
But nonsense.
There have been some since.
Ooh, okay.
But nothing like these.
Gotcha.
Some people have died in the woods. They've killed themselves in the woods. I guess on YouTube you have to say unalive. I hate that fucking term.
Yeah.
It makes me
Had to
cringe.
unalive yourself. Yeah.
It makes me cringe every time. This is why we're not getting money.
Yeah. Sole reason.
The first unfortunate soul on our list of strange disappearances was a man named Midy Rivers. Midy, yes.
Midy.
Quite the name.
Midy Rivers, okay.
Midy was an extremely experienced hiker and hunter, having been in the wilderness countless times in his 74 years.
Well,
74 years old.
With a last name like Rivers, I'd be real fucking disappointed if he wasn't an experienced hunter.
On November 12th, 1945, the 74-year-old was guiding a group of 4 hunters. So he was experienced enough to guide hunters through the area. On a mountain trek for scouting deer and all that. He was very familiar with the trail, as he had walked it multiple times. However, after going ahead of the group at a spot called Hell Hollow Brook, and if you know anything about Missing 411, you know that there's a theory, loosely a theory, the guy who is the main proponent of Missing 411 being an actual paranormal phenomenon. His name is skipping in my head right now, I don't know it, but he talks about how a lot of these people go missing in areas with creepy-ass names. This is called Hell Hollow Brook. Other people go missing in, like, Devil's Canyon, Devil's Mountain, Devil's River. I don't fucking know what that means. But I'm just letting you know this is another example of a person who goes missing in the woods, happened to have gone missing in an area named after, like, hell or the devil or something.
I mean...
It's silly.
I also just feel like, it could be a fucking Lollipop Lane, and after enough people disappear, they're like, oh, it's the Devil's Dick Avenue. And then it's like, oh no, don't go there. So, yeah. Fuck.
So you think they named it because people have gone missing?
Yeah, definitely. I think that they ended up changing the name because they were like, we're just trying to make people avoid it.
Perhaps.
But
he was going around this trail, he was ahead of the people following him, he turned a curve in the trail, fucking disappeared.
So how much further away was he than these other people? Like, when you say he went ahead, is it like 10 paces? Is it half a mile? Like, what? Do we have any type of information on that?
We do not. I would say probably within 100 yards. It's not super far. He's guiding these people through there. He can't be a mile away.
I mean, it makes sense. Was there no noise or anything like that? He just disappeared.
Firemen, local volunteers, and eventually the U.S. Army searched for Rivers for over a month. The only clue they found was 1 rifle cartridge. No body was found, and the case remains unsolved. They found 1 spent rifle cartridge, and that's it. And he just disappeared off the fucking trail.
Sounds to me like he just kind of wanted to drop his identity.
In the forest?
Yeah, dude.
At 74 years old?
I know a couple 74-year-olds who just kind of like chill. They want to be off grid. But I mean, if you're super experienced, why not? Like, if you've been in the woods all your life and you know all the trails and things like that, if you don't want to pay taxes anymore, why not take a group of witnesses and then fucking disappear yourself? Because then they could vouch for your story.
What's the point of not paying taxes if you're not going to make money anymore?
Well, you just live off the grid, man. You have a little homestead or something. This man knew the forest.
But I mean, they searched. They didn't find a fucking homestead.
Well, I'm sure that he just kind of dipped a little bit further.
On to our next case. I'm gonna fucking convince you of something weird here. I guarantee it.
Okay, hit me.
On our next case, a year later, 1946, an 18-year-old student at Bennington College named Paula Jean Welden told her roommates that she was going to the Long Trail for a hike. A local man named Lewis Knapp gave her a ride and dropped her off a few kilometers from the trail. On arriving, she spoke with some hikers before she ventured off on her own. She was last seen on December 1st wearing a red coat. Note that.
Okay, the red coat.
An extensive search was conducted, including more than 1,000 people searching, aircraft surveillance posting there was a $5,000 reward, which in the 40s is a ridiculous amount of money. I don't know exactly.
Probably pretty good. I don't know, my guess 70, 80 grand, something like that.
At least, yep. And help from the FBI. The elderly couple who had seen her on the trail last said that she seemingly disappeared after she turned a corner on the trail. another corner turning and disappearing. During the massive search, no clues to her fate were ever discovered.
This...
Until?
Oh.
With no hope in sight, Paula's father believed that she might have had a secret boyfriend whom either she ran away with or who killed her. Paula's father left Bennington never to return.
Those are two very different ends of the spectrum. Either she lived a very happy life or she got murdered brutally. One of the two.
Or the Bigfoot squished her to death.
Nah, dog. That is kind of interesting, though. Both people, after turning a corner, they just kind of disappear. Have you heard of the theory about essentially overlapping universes? Where everything exists in the same space and time, just all at kind of different vibrations, essentially, or frequencies. What if, when they were walking on the trail, they fucking tripped on a rock, just started to vibe at a certain level, and poofed? So the theory of...
the different universes.
Yeah, all kind of overlapping. I don't know. Maybe she ended up just kind of tripping into the next one.
Yeah, I mean, I could definitely see it.
So, who knows? Stranger things have happened.
I mean, probably the more logical answer is that she just got lost and nobody could find her.
Or Bigfoot took her.
Or Bigfoot took her. That's also pretty logical. I won't lie to you. Exactly 3 years to the day.
3 years to the day. Okay.
After Paula's disappearance, a 68-year-old World War I veteran named James Tedford disappeared on a moving bus through the area.
What?
He was visiting friends out of town and was heading back to Bennington by bus. 14 passengers confirmed that he did not get off the bus before Bennington and was sleeping throughout the trip. His belongings were still on his seat. To this day, there is still no explanation for his disappearance, unless all the eyewitnesses were wrong. This man got on the bus, went through the triangle, and disappeared out of his fucking seat.
I got two theories on that one.
Okay.
Either, one, we're going back to just vibing through different fucking space-times, essentially. Second one is somebody had Bezos money and decided, hey, we're going to murder this bitch and pay off everybody on this bus. My two theories.
Fair.
I mean, I don't know what else it would be.
Fair. But that's pretty crazy, right?
That's very crazy. To just...
3 years to the day.
Dude, that sounds like some backroom shit.
I know.
Like, oh.
I told you, man, this is a spooky triangle.
That is pretty spooky.
I wonder, yeah. What was the joke you made about triangles? It's a good angle? 1 year later, on October 12th, 1950, 8-year-old Paul Jepson was with his mother while she worked on their family farm. She left her son in her pickup truck while she fed the farm pigs for an hour. When she returned, he was gone.
How old was the son?
8 years. Old enough... 8 years old is old enough to not just, like, fucking... I mean, 8 years old is old enough to probably leave in a pickup for an hour. Maybe I'm wrong.
I mean, back in the 50s, I guess it is. But I'm thinking he could have probably just got up out of that truck and walked right out. He's 8 years old.
When she returned, he was gone. He was last seen wearing a red coat. Another red coat. Keep that in your mind.
I kind of want to take a red coat to this fucking triangle now, man. Are we going to take a road trip?
That's literally the opposite side of the country, but sure.
Fuck it, dude.
An immediate search of the farm and surrounding area was conducted. A police bloodhound followed the scent to a crossroads where it eventually faded. The trail was in the general direction of Glastonbury Mountain, which Jepson was obsessively talking about for several days before his disappearance.
The kid?
Yeah. Have you seen the Silent Hill movie?
No.
Well, in the movie, the little girl, she's like from Silent Hill and she was adopted or whatever, but she kept screaming about Silent Hill and having nightmares about Silent Hill, so they take her to Silent Hill and the scary movie happens and they're like in a different dimension. But, kind of sounds like this. He's like, Glastonbury Mountain, I gotta go. And then he just goes and disappears.
Dude, different dimension theory coming in strong right now.
Silent Hill, what do you know? Police theorized that a passing motorist could have whisked Paul away as he tried to reach the mountain. However, the case went cold and there were no more developments. Again, quite possible.
Where does the red coat come in, though? Or are you just saying it's... Oh, okay.
2 weeks after Paul Jepson's vanishing. 2 weeks. Again, this is all happening in pretty much the exact same fucking time frame. 5 years. 2 weeks after Paul Jepson's vanishing, 53-year-old Frida Longer, an avid hiker, met a similar fate. She and her cousin Herbert were hiking 17 kilometers away from Glastonbury Mountain at the Somerset Reservoir. After getting wet from falling into a creek, she went back to the campsite to change. Herbert stayed behind to wait for her on the trail. When Frida did not return, Herbert reported her missing. For the next 2 weeks, 400 people scoured the area extensively. 6 months later, her body was found. Another one that was finally found. 5.5 kilometers from the website. From the
website?
5.5 kilometers from the campsite. Coroners could not determine the cause of her death because of the corpse's accelerated decomposition.
Makes sense.
Yep. So that was our 5 people.
400 people going on a scavenger hunt for a body or a missing lady. That's kind of impressive. Like, are these all just volunteers? Because I don't even think I know 400 people. Like, if I fucking disappeared, I think I have a solid 3 people who would actually come search for me. Like, how the fuck did this lady get 400?
Yeah, it's volunteers.
Yeah, okay.
They get like a group of professional searchers, and then they just recruit from the community.
Gotcha.
I bet if you went missing, there'd be a sizable amount of people.
Maybe 5, 6, 20 if you count the people who hate me. Who just want to find it to be like, there's that fucker.
What happened? Sasquatch get you?
No, dog, it was Bigfoot.
They're the same thing.
Oh.
You didn't know that?
Well, I had a feeling. I was trying to take a different angle. Swing and a miss!
The folklore around the Bennington Triangle stems from UFOs, curses, Bigfoot, and more. The Abenaki tribe, which also lived there, believed that Glastonbury Mountain was also cursed, as it housed their dead at the base. So they buried their dead at the base.
Must have been a beautiful view.
However, there are several connections we can draw from all these missings.
Okay.
2 victims, Paula and Paul, ironically, were both wearing the color red. All 5 victims disappeared in mid-afternoon, around 3 p.m. or 4 p.m., not far from each other, and during the last 3 months of the year. First thought that comes to mind, which is possible, is a serial killer.
Sure.
Serial killers typically work around a single area, and they typically make their victims disappear until they're caught. However, it doesn't really follow the exact work of a serial killer, because serial killers typically have one type of person that they hunt down. It's usually small women or children.
So you're saying serial killers are discriminatory?
Absolutely. Add that to their list of bad things they do. There is no set pattern to the people who disappear. We've got old guys, old ladies, little boys, women.
I don't know. I mean, you could just have more of a liberal serial killer. Right? That's fine.
It is Vermont.
A little more open-minded.
Yep.
You know, I can stab an old man. I can stab a young child. I mean, can stab a woman here or there.
Murders for everybody. Where was Bernie Sanders in the 40s?
Oh, there you go. Yeah, fuck, man. I don't know. How old was he? Was he even alive?
Yeah, I think so.
I feel like he would have been like 8.
Oh, younger than that.
Ah, shit.
By the 50s, he was probably around 8. Anyways, no one truly knows what the fuck is going on here.
Yeah, weird situations.
For some inexplicable reason, the color red is somehow inserted in a lot of these disappearances. Another one, September 17th, 2019. The remains of a modern victim, New York resident Jessica Hildenbrandt, were found near the Somerset Reservoir. Police determined that her death was a homicide. So there's a murder.
Okay.
No leads have turned up about her killer, however, she was nicknamed Red by her family and friends.
So she didn't have any red articles of clothing, but her nickname was Red.
Correct.
Strange.
Yeah. In August 2021, Joseph Schoenig was found in his truck at Somerset Reservoir with a self-inflicted gunshot wound. He had been missing for several weeks. His truck was also red. This red thing is kind of fucking silly, I'm not going to lie to you.
It's weird coincidences, though.
What do you think? Is this not a pretty crazy... The guy who disappeared on the fucking bus... That's 2 people, that's 2 separate missing 411 cases. 3, with the little boy who disappeared, and the 2 people who just turned a corner in the fucking trail.
That is kind of wild. It really makes me want to wear red and just go start running through that forest, see what happens.
I thought you were scared. You said you don't like forests.
Well, No, I don't. But if it's daytime, it's fine. If it's nighttime, get me the fuck out of there, dude.
I mean, even in the daytime, man, if it's thick enough, it's pretty dark.
Eh.
It would be cool to do. It'd be a nice little adventure.
Think of the content we could provide, though.
Oh, absolutely. If we lived in Vermont, we would have to do this.
I feel like, you know what? Maybe we can take a road trip. Start a GoFundMe.
You know what? Maybe I'll research a triangle around us. There's always fucking triangles everywhere. Most of them are stupid, but I feel like this one's pretty nuts.
I don't know. Maybe we could do like a GoFundMe as far as seeing if we can get ourselves to disappear in this triangle.
You just gotta do like everything that they did. Like you lead the way in the trail and turn a corner without me seeing you. We're both wearing red. I jump into a creek and then go change at the campsite wearing red.
I'm gonna start calling you Red.
And then
that's gonna be
there
your
you go.
nickname. Yeah.
And then we take a bus home, 2 separate buses home.
Ooh, 2 separate buses home. Okay.
See if we both get off alive.
I mean, I would hope I'd get off alive.
Well, we're testing it.
No,
right?
I'm not talking about the bus.
Oh, the bust. Alright, well, there was the Bennington Triangle. I thought it was pretty fucking nuts. I don't know about you guys.
That is kind of wonky. I mean, if there are any other kind of theories floating around, let us know, because that is a really weird situation. I haven't heard of this one
If
before.
you comment on this video, I'll throw your comment up in a video.
Hell yeah.
I'm just gonna tell you right now. We've got nobody commenting.
Yeah, we got like, I think maybe one person watching our videos.
We're pretty much talking into the void.
Yeah.
I don't even know if he's real at this point.
I'm not. Oh, shit. Oh, fuck.
Where'd he go?